All right, a very good morning to you. It's so good to see you on this Wednesday morning. Beautiful scenery over there ushering in the show. And this is as far as your world is concerned. Welcome to the show. My name is Winnie Lubembe. So much to cover in this 1 hour. And of course, today it's all about performing arts and in school. Of course, today we just want to, first of all, understand why is it important for, all of us really when it comes to performing arts to start embracing that in schools? Because I know majority of us when we were in school were very, curious and very happy about drama and music fest and all those things. But how important is this and how soon is too soon, when it comes to starting this? And of course, also embracing talent when it comes to performing arts, and how far can one go? But of course, most importantly is what investments should be put in place just to make sure that this succeeds. So today I have students from Wood Creek School who will be here to share, first of all, their journey, how they're able to balance between school and performing arts, and of course at the same time also earning a living while still in school. How interesting is that? So for you to get a glimpse of what exactly we are talking about today, take a look at this.
Nilishangaa ashawa behavior. What? Mama you anapenda kufanya ashawa behavior. Ulisikia? Mimi nilishangaa. Acha nyamaze. Indeed. Tonight, we are all moon dancers. And may your old religion never die. Woman of Makushe. Hey. Our council is a secret that has outlived us. Our mothers and theirs before them. Yes. And that will still outlive our daughters and theirs after them. Here, today, we sit guardians around the pot. The pot that symbolizes our womanhood. Our womanhood. The pot that is the womb of the land. Yes. The pot that carries our laughter, tears, ambitions, and visions as mothers of the land. Ache! Ache haya! Katoto katoto. Ae! Ae! Katoto katoto. Ae! Sisters, I am humble. Why is she humble? Humble not by the leadership you bestow upon me, but humble to be your servant. And may the secrets of our circle remain in it. And the truths of our parchment reveal to only us. Only us! To the women of our Christian
Katoto, katoto. What does that song even mean? I was watching this yesterday. I'm like, okay, this kids are just on another level. So Asante Sana for coming by this morning. You will tell us more about that particular play, but it reminded me of my, high school days and how, we really looked forward to this. But this is like on another level, the production, from the lights to the script to your costumes. I'm like, okay, you guys are not playing. That was really good. Asante Sana for coming by this morning. And of course, to help us really understand the whole question about performing arts in schools and how it is important for, us to embrace this. Because again, we as Kenyans, Kenyans, we still have, you know, a long way to go, and especially when it comes to embracing performing arts, right? And of course, we also want to understand, first of all, why is it that we have not embraced it to the level that we should have, and what are some of the things that we can do as well. So if you're watching us this morning and thinking, oh, okay, Kwani, what is that all about? Again, you want to stick around until the end of the conversation to understand that and much more. And also, you guys have been nominated. How exciting is that? That's just, yes. And we'll talk about that in a second. But let me introduce them. We have Louis Kavoy Xavier. I hope I said that right. Right. Okay. Drama teacher at Wood Creek School, as well as the production director for that play that we've watched. That is Mekatilili Wamenza. So good to see you and to have you this morning. Karibu Sana. And of course, we also have Micah Kaboy, who is an actor. Of course, the colonialist. If you watch that play, it's so good to have you as well. Karibu Sana. I have so many questions for you. You know, like the whys and how did it feel to actually take on that role? And of course, next to him, we have Nikita Wakonyu again, who again was the main, right? You were the main actor in that play, and man, that was emotional. Thank you. It's like, how do you, listen, I have so many questions, but Karibu Sana to the show. And of course, last but not least, we have Anne Nyandia, who is an actor as well. She's the first voice, I think, right? Yes. That you heard from the play. So it's good to have all of you. Karibuni Sana. Let's just start with first things first. I know we watched the play. Maybe, you know, people who are watching us at home are like, okay, we really want to know more about the St. Louis. Do you want to take us through, you know, what the play is all about?
Great. Sure. Mekatilili Wamenza is a play that, you know, takes us back to the fight for freedom in our country.
Yeah.
And it's just taking us back to the roots where the whole fight began, which was in the coastal region with Mekatilili Wamenza. Yeah. She was actually the first freedom fighter. She was the first person who came in contact with the colonialists when they came to Kenya. Yeah. So it's a story of us taking us through the journey she went through, just to make sure that all communities in Kenya were informed on what was about to happen, now that the colonialists were already in our country, and also what measures we needed to take. Yeah. But at the same time, we get to explore collaborators within the play, and what role they played as well in probably frustrating the efforts of other freedom fighters when they were trying to fight for our independence and freedom.
Yeah, yes. And that was well written, and I'm just like, why that particular story for a start?
Great. So our institution prides itself in appreciating Kenyan culture and African culture, and we feel that it's prevalent for us to begin from that particular point, which is the starting point to us, you know, achieving our own civilization and independence. Yeah. So the reason why we chose Mekatilili Wamenza was just to take us back to where the whole journey to where we are began, and also to enlighten people, because you'll realize most of the people in our country actually don't know much about our history. True. So we are on a journey to telling historical and epic stories of our own Kenyan heroes, and also appreciating them in a musical and in a dance culture.
Yeah, and that was really good. And I think I like that because, first of all, we're getting students to take part in, because, you know, when we were in school, tulifunzwa that in history, you know, but then to have that and to get the students really get a feel of what exactly happened and how significant this story is, I think that's a really good thing, so that we appreciate the freedom, first of all, that we have right now, you know, and civilization that we're enjoying right now. Okay, Micah, first of all, take us through I don't know whether to call it the auditioning process until you got to that role, and how did you feel when you were given that role?
So in the beginning, I actually didn't start off with the production with these guys.
All right.
I started off kind of late. So at the beginning, I wasn't really interested in it. I thought it was just another small school production. It will get few views and we'll move on with life. Okay. And then I started seeing it started gaining momentum. All right. The theater was being built. So I realized this is something big. So I joined the play, and of course, Mr. Lewis here wouldn't allow me to just jump into a main role. Yeah. So I started as one of the soldiers to my own character, And then slowly from there, I built my way up and up. And then at some point, Mr. Lewis held an audition between me and the previous character to who would get the role.
Okay.
And I think that day was the day I worked the hardest to get the role.
Yeah.
I was so nervous that I wouldn't get the role, that I would just be a background player in this play.
Yeah.
And I was so elated when I got the role because of how much it meant to the whole play. The colonialist, I think, plays a really big part in it, and I felt like I should give my best in playing the role.
Absolutely. Do you ask the question, why? Why do you want me to play the colonialist? Why do you want to be the bad guy in this? In this picture, do you have like those questions?
Those questions, yes. I have been asked, like, why would you want to be the bad guy that everybody hates?
Yeah.
I think because not a lot of people appreciate the work that goes into playing the antagonist of the role.
Yes.
Especially like after they play, the people that watched it, the children, they see me, they like back off of me. It's very funny. But the reason I wanted to play on it is to shed like light on what the purpose of the antagonist really is. Like, it's not that you're hated. Like, they accepted me really well when I was playing the antagonist. It's the people you get to work with, and the antagonist really, the role he plays, without it, it would be very a boring play, a dull play.
And even that, we wouldn't really get to understand what it took for us to be here. And of course, in this sense, then the role that you played, it's a very significant role, you know, and not an easy one, if I must say, to get to really, and properly display, you know, how things went down before, you know, she came on. So it's a very significant role, really. All right, Nikita, also take us through your role in this. You know, what's these moments, shed tears here and there, you know. It was a very emotional play, and to watch it, it was just amazing. So take us through, someone watching us and thinking, okay, so what exactly was Nikita's role in that, and how did it feel, first of all, to land that?
So my role, I played Mekatilili Wamenza, the lead character in the play, and she was actually the first female to go in Kenya to go against the colonialists. And I feel like my role was really big because not to like brag or anything.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So without her, I don't think women right now will be as empowered as as we are right now. And she was the first person to start that movement for women can do more than they look. So it was really, I felt really good to get the role, but I wasn't assured that I was going to be Mekatilili because there was so much competition throughout the whole thing, from the auditions to the first show. Like, I wasn't sure I was going to be Mekatilili until the first show. And even throughout the show, you're still told if you don't execute the role the way you need to execute it, you will still lose it.
That's true.
And it's not guaranteed that you're going to be the lead role throughout.
What did it mean to you, and getting to put yourself in her shoes and to display all the emotions and all the feels and everything in between, you know, just to make sure that you make us feel, you know, and take us through all those feels?
So that is characterization. And at the beginning, I really struggled with that, separating myself and the character. So I had to. Mr. Lewis actually put me through a lot of pushing. I needed to be pushed. And that's one of the things that I learned, that you need to push yourself. You need to be outgoing. It's up to you. Me and Mekatilili are actually very similar. I'm really emotional. And also her, she's very emotional, especially when she loses her child, because she goes through a lot. She loses a lot of family to the point where she loses her son, and that's when she finally accepts that this is what I'm meant to do with my life. So me and her are very similar. I didn't know that I could do great things the way I did.
Look at that. It was really good. It was really, really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So like made you discover certain parts of yourself that you didn't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
That's really good to hear. All right. And Anne, again, let's talk about your role in that. We first of all hear your voice, you know, in all those things, and then later on we see you. Take us through how, you know, that was.
In the play,
yes.
I play as Mepoho. I'm basically like her guardian angel. I protect her and I guide her in everything that she does.
Yeah.
Starting from auditions, it was kind of like a guarantee role for me because from the first cast list, I was Mepoho.
Okay.
But we were told not to be too sure, not to be too excited.
Listen, anything can change.
Yeah. But I took it seriously in the beginning, and I showed myself and I proved myself that I could take on that role.
Yeah.
I opened the play, both in the first act and the second act. So the pressure was on me to set the pace.
Yes.
To set the pace. I'll create a face for the whole performance.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm just going to go back to Lewis to understand, first of all, having the students take part in the same and make sure that they deliver, you know, to this. But most importantly, telling our own stories. How important is that for us to just tell our own stories? It doesn't matter whether it is, you know, in a theater somewhere where, you know, all Kenyans can go and watch, or in a school play. How important is it to tell our own stories?
I mean, it's very important to, first of all, appreciate ourselves.
Yes.
I think it starts by appreciating ourselves so that we can be able to tell our own stories. Because when you're comfortable with who you are, then it becomes easy for you to show who you really are. And going back to what, you know, Chimamanda Ngozi says, the dangers of telling a single story. So you're judged based on the one story that you keep telling, which is not even our own. So how is it important for us to tell our stories? It is quite important because it's through our stories that we get to learn about ourselves. We get to learn about the milestones that we can go to. And we also get to appreciate the mistakes that come with the past stories and appreciating now what we need to do for the future. So for us, it's actually an emotional journey when we are telling our own stories, because we get to appreciate that this is who we really actually are. I can imagine telling the story of Romeo and Juliet. I don't understand their culture. I don't understand, you know, their personas, their way of life. But me coming back to just tell Mekatilili Wamenza, I begin to explore our own cultures and actually get to appreciate that a country like Kenya, blessed with so many tribes, tribalism is actually not a negative thing. It's actually a very positive thing if we actually get to explore the beauty that it brings. So stories, it doesn't matter whether they're historical stories or contemporary stories, but just stories that revolve around ourselves. That I think is what we are trying to push out. Yes.
Okay. And let's get to hear from the students exactly the challenges, because I'm trying to imagine you're in school, you have to balance between school, but at the same time, Lewis is expecting you to deliver. Okay? You cannot just come and do whatever and go because right? So from you and from your perspective, Micah, what are some of the challenges that, you know, you went through preparing for this role? Because again, what did it take? 8 months, 7 months of rehearsal before the play? So what were some of the things that you encountered that were very challenging for you?
Some of the things, okay. So as I said, I had joined the play late. So while the play was going, at the beginning, we hadn't gotten that serious yet. It was just people memorizing their lines, internalizing their character. So at that point, we weren't really doing a lot, so it wasn't that hard to balance. And then we got to the later stages like cue to cues, where you have to enter the thing, they do the lightings, the sound, and then you get back out immediately so you can run it again and again. So at that point, you have no free time. All you're doing is you're in the play, and if you're not working at the play, you're at home doing homework or in school actually learning. So one of the things my parents told me is if your grades drop a bit, you're out of the play. So finding that balance.
Okay. It's like you had to deliver on both ends.
Yes. So it's very demanding, but then it's also enlightening, because life is never going to be easy where you're just going to do one thing alone. So finding that balance, finding that schedule that you keep going into is what really helped me to get through the play, to deliver on both sides, and finally put up the performance we put.
You know what I like most about what you've said is the fact that this is what life is. And it's a good thing to hear you say that, you know, from a young age, where in this day and age where, you know, the microwave generation, we expect today I start something, tomorrow it has to be successful. I don't care how, it has to be successful. And I like that, because this sort of like helps you to understand, listen, in life you have to find a balance. And that's a really good thing to hear. All right, Nikita, how was it for you balancing both?
So at first it was really tough, and I feel like my grades did suffer a lot, because I put in a lot of time. But I really enjoy drama. I really enjoy acting, and I feel like this is what I'm meant to do with my life. I don't know what else I could do with my life other than acting. But like Micah said, it teaches us to have a balance between school and acting, because school is as important as the production. So having that balance is very important, not just for the play, but also during our school life, our day-to-day school life, and balancing. Let's say we are going to the movies on Saturday, but I have a lot of homework to do. So putting what is important first and having a balance generally.
It's important. And are there some things that you had to sacrifice? Because again, listen, you first of all are a pilot in training. Okay, and then you tried other things. You've tried taekwondo, you've tried piano, you've also tried football. What is it that you've not tried?
I was actually going to mention that I'm making a sacrifice. Because in Wood Creek we are offered a lot of activities to do. And term one was just that term where we had so much going on. You know, you had people going abroad for trips for World Scholars. You had a sports tournament every weekend. So Mr. Lewis made it very clear to me that I had to sacrifice some things and focus on what I wanted to do now, which was the play. That's where all our energy was. So I think for me the hardest thing was sacrifice.
Okay, I see that. But again, look at you now, right? All of you managed to pull through. Okay, we're about to go on a break, but when we come back, we would also want to understand, you know, so how was it during the play and even after? Because again, like we said, we have been nominated, I think, you know, and of course we'll talk about that. But also, I want to hear what were some of the funny moments, embarrassing moments, because I hear kuna mtu mmoja alitoka stage na mic, right? And went akasema some things, and so we'd also want to hear that. But most importantly, we would want to understand the kind of investments, you know, that are put in place in performing arts, and especially to achieve a production of that magnitude. I would really want to know, you know, what it took and how important this is, and what is it that, you know, the government and the ministry would also do to put a lot of investments into this, because Nikita said, this is what I want to do. I don't know what else I'd want to do with my life if not drama. So all that is coming up after the break. If you're watching us and feeling inspired as well, feel free to send me your text either on social media, that is at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on Twitter, or give us a call and you know, talk to this amazing people right here on set today. But all that is coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Centum Real Estate brings to you 265-1 apartments, the newest and most stylish development in Kasarani. Pay a deposit of 250,000 Kenya shillings and the balance in flexible installments or mortgage finance.
Why do we do it? Hide, cover up, tone down? Choose boldness. Celebrate the skin you're in and dress with confidence with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion. The triple layered care of deep moisture serum, precious cocoa butter, and vitamin E enriches your skin for 48 hours. It's time to show off your best skin. Wear your skin pride every time with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion.
Daring Abroad makes me dare. It's the only show of its kind in the world. And now, it's bigger.
And even more entertaining and informative than before.
Hapa kunaitwa Kakoe na inatubamba sana.
From London to Jersey Island.
Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo to the scenic features of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
And many more places abroad and at home.
I watch Daring Abroad. I like the stories which people bring.
Daring Abroad every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. with repeats every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. on NTV.
Any manager arriving at a club is expected to be positive, say the right things, set the tone, and hope things go well from there. Which is pretty much how Sean Dyche did his tenure as Everton manager, sitting down for an interview with the club's in-house TV channel. The notion that Manchester City buying Erling Haaland has helped Arsenal's Premier League title bid might seem a little off base at first glance.
Grow your biashara by accessing loans, investment options, convenient banking, network opportunities, and so much more. Njoo tukujenge. Visit any one of our 93 branches countrywide. Family Bank is regulated by the Central Bank of...
Forever, my love.
To protect our family from germs that cause illness when it's cold, we use Dettol soap.
Dettol soap with germ defense gives you protection. When it's cold, germs are transferred in different ways, and Dettol soap's germ defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
Claiming your assets is easy. Simply visit UFAA website www.ufaa.go.ke or dial *361# or visit Huduma Center near you.
All right, welcome back. Glad you're still with us. The show is Your World, and of course, today it's all about performing arts in schools. And if you're watching us and you are very, very active in school, and especially when it comes to like drama and music festival and all those things, you know, you might actually want to relive your moment and memories in school and share with us your experience as well. These guys are here from Wood Creek School, are helping us understand, first of all, what it took to, you know, do the play from their own perspective, but at the same time balancing school and play, right? And of course, the kind of investment that was put there, and of course, some of the lessons that they've learned, you know, from the same. And I like what you know, they're saying, listen, we had to learn balance, and we also had to understand this is what, you know, life is. It's all about balance. But Louis, let's hear from you in terms of the investments that need to be put in place, and especially when it comes to performing arts. Where are we from your perspective? What is it that needs to be done so that we strengthen the same? But most importantly, the audience, because a play without an audience, you know, yeah, there's nothing. So yeah, what would you say?
Great. I would not say that as a country we are doing so bad.
Okay.
We are trying. We could probably say we are around maybe 30–40%.
Okay.
Because we still have a long way to go.
We do. Yeah.
Let's first look at our Kenyan system schools. We really do appreciate drama, music, and dance. And that's why we have the likes of Kenya National Drama Festivals, music festivals, and so forth. And even the introduction of new categories within those festivals, like the film category, the modern dance categories, and all that. But the thing is, after the festivals are done, then the performing arts within schools are dead.
Yes.
So it's not a continuous thing. It's more like a seasonal thing. So if we could start first probably by establishing a curriculum that can run for the entire academic year in just appreciating the performing arts within different schools, then that would really give a boost to also the creative economy. Because currently, when you look at our country, we are on an upward trajectory towards, you know, appreciating the performing arts and also talent-based careers. So if we could just fall back, create a curriculum, that would really let the industry thrive. But to be honest, the performing arts is a very expensive affair.
It really is,
and I think that's why probably either the government or private institutions hold back from investing in it. Because if you want quality, then
you have to put a lot of
you have to put,
investment
you have to put a lot of investment. And it's something I've seen with Wood Creek School, especially our director, Mr. Peter Karoki. He does not shy away from investing because his attitude is, we need to be the best, we need to produce the best. So he fully supports, you know, for example, we have a state-of-the-art auditorium, fully functional with I mean, I don't think there is any theater in our country that has that high-tech equipment to do just theater, and introducing, you know, subjects like creative media within schools. So to be honest, it's also staging a performance. It's not easy. It's not cheap. It has to, you know, there is investment to it. And let's be honest. As you said, if we don't have an audience, then we don't have a production. Because I mean, we'll be performing for ourselves. But the thing we have to understand is, I've noticed that our audience in Kenya appreciates high quality. So you give them high quality, the thing is, they will actually be ready to pay. It's not a big deal because I mean, if I'm going to enjoy a movie at IMAX and pay 1,000 bob and above to just feel the experience, then for theater, it would not be such a bad thing because you're watching it live and just paying maybe 3,000 or 4,000.
And the emotions that you get from watching it live is even,
so you get to connect with the actors, you get to feel their emotions, you get to experience it as it happens. So theater is expensive, performing arts is expensive, but it's worth the investment. So I'd probably call on the government probably to see how they can partner with different schools and just promote the arts and build theaters within schools and also appreciate educators that teach performing arts. Because let's be honest, I hear some of my friends coining a term in Swahili, kuwa msanii ni ngumu. And the reason why they do that is because of, you know, people look at you and don't appreciate the talent you have because they think it comes easy. It's a hobby until you're put on the spot. And then you realize, wow, it's so not easy. There's so much that goes into it. So I think also another thing is we need to educate the masses and just make them understand, when you see someone doing film, when you see someone doing theater, when you see someone doing music or dance, it's an investment. It's just a career just like any other. A performer and a doctor, they're all equal. What needs now to be addressed is the seriousness in which we take them. Because these are people who entertain you. When you're down, you want to listen to music. When you feel bored, you want to go to the theater to watch a play or watch a film. So theater is expensive, performing arts is expensive, but worth the investment.
At the end of the day. And even not only investments in terms of money, I mean, it's important to put the money in, you know, into it, but also time, energy, emotions. I can only imagine what you guys had to go through. But at the same time, there's schools, not like school stops, and then we focus on this, and then we'll come back and pick from where we left. You have to balance between both. So it's a lot of things going on. All right, like I said, I want to know, what happens? What are some of your favorite moments? Maybe on stage. What were some of the embarrassing moments, if there was any? What were some of the, you know those moments where you're like, okay, some of you maybe forgot a line. Did you have to improv? If that is allowed, because I know Yalis will be like, you know, all those things. Let me start with you, Anne.
So at the beginning of the play, I normally start on the 3rd level, the way the stage was set, with the stairs leading to like a platform at the top. And the only way to get down was through the stairs. Once I finished my prologue, my introduction, the lights would go out, and immediately the lights would come back for the opening number, the song. There's this one time, the lights came back on too soon, and I wasn't able to leave stage on time. So I had to wait for the next blackout. So I was laying down on the platform the whole entire the whole entire scene until it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that feel? How did that?
Yeah. Because even if I was to leave, I would still be walking in the darkness because the theater was completely dark. Like you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, you would rather that than falling on the stairs and everybody watching you falling
yes.
on the stairs. Okay, gosh, okay, all right. Nikita, what was it like for you? Are you crying? Yeah.
I don't think this story ever gets old.
Okay.
So during rehearsals, there was this scene where I had to slap him, and the director and the producer told me, like, because it wasn't that good, it didn't seem real, so they told me you have to slap him, like.
Yeah, it has to be. We need, listen. We are the audience. We need to feel the slap.
And the thing is, he didn't know, or he wasn't sure that I was actually going to
slap him.
So I slapped him, and he was so pissed. He shoved me across the stage, and everyone was like, "Oh." I was just so embarrassed, but it was really funny. I mean, we're friends.
Wait, I mean, listen. So at that time, what did you do? Because now he reacted in a way that you did not expect, and then you were caught off guard. So what did you do at that point, just to make it as natural
as possible? There's nothing you can do. You just get up. And
but it was during rehearsals, yeah?
Yeah, during
okay.
rehearsals,
all right, yeah, okay. You got angry. Okay, but yeah, for you, what were some of like your memorable moments, funny moments, embarrassing moments? Were you the one who walked out with the mic? No. Okay, all right.
Okay, there was a time I walked out with the mic, but that's not the time I want to talk about.
Yeah.
There was a time, you know, for my dinner scene.
Okay.
They bring in actual food so we can like act that we're eating, right?
Yeah.
So after the dinner scene, the food is brought backstage, and you know how kids are around food, right? So we finish the dinner scene. I go to the back. I'm preparing for my next scene, and then I think it was the doctor scene where I'm receiving the news that my wife is about to die.
Yeah.
And then I hear someone backstage, "Hey, you guys have been eating all this time."
Like, no, that is just for the scene. Yeah, okay, what did you do? What did you react?
At that point, I had to choke down my laugh. I just continue acting like it's a very sad and somber moment. So it was really hard to choke down my laugh and just continue
and and still be in character and keeping that. Okay, I see that.
I was on stage with him when that happened. I was on the 3rd level on the stairs, so I could see through the curtains. I could see whoever was talking. They had switched on all the lights, so the light was just coming into the stage.
Okay.
It was just a mess.
But that is what happens, right, Lewis? It happens.
It has to get messy for it to be beautiful.
True. Yeah. So true. Okay, but do you allow those moments where something goes wrong, you have to improv? I mean
some of them are inevitable. You have no power and control over them.
Yes.
And then at some point, as much as all is said and done, kids will always be kids.
True.
You know, you'll hear someone, at that actually time, their mics were on. And they're talking about food. Okay. So it's those moments where you're caught off guard because someone just walked out of the stage, the mics are now being turned off, and then they're talking about food.
Yeah.
So you either play a soundtrack to, you know, play over the voice, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Hey, okay. That was, But what were some like your memorable, you know, lessons that you've carried with, you know, with you? And this is from this play. I know you talked about balance and all those things, but as an actor, right? And I know, Micah, you said, listen, I thought this was just going to be like a one-off thing. I'm going to try and say, yeah, I did that, moving on, you know, on to the next. But you've actually grown to love acting. So what are some of these lessons that you've carried with you as an actor and what it takes to actually deliver and be exceptional?
Okay, so as an actor, one of the main lessons I took is you have to act as part of the team.
Okay.
If I act my best but she doesn't play her character, the play won't be good.
True.
If I act my best and all the actors do well but the mic team isn't on point, then the play won't do well. If the prop team misses a prop or something on stage, it will cause a mistake. So what I really learned was you have to play as part of the whole team. And even when you're bringing it to real life, you have to work with your teachers, with your parents, so you can bring out the best in yourself, and in this case, in the play.
Yeah, so teamwork. Teamwork is absolutely key. All right, Nikita?
There were two major things that I learned from the whole production. One of them being that you need to separate yourself from your friends, because like I said, this is my career. This is what I want to do with my life. And when I see my friends, they're having, like when I'm going for rehearsals, because there was a time we had to rehearse from 8 in the morning to 6 p.m. So my friends are going for games or sports, and I'm left in rehearsal listening to Mr. Lewis yelling at me. So I got really hurt. I was like, damn, these guys are moving on without me, and I'm here. So the producer really taught Mr. Jairo. He usually has these talks with us, and he told me that you have a bigger purpose, because my friends are not here with me today. So you need to know that you have a bigger purpose. You need to separate yourself from them and do what you need to do and be good.
But still, it's important to still keep friends.
Yes,
but know when to. Okay.
And the second thing I learned is criticism is going to be a part of your life throughout, especially as an artist. People are going to hate. People are going to say, you can't do this, you won't be good enough for this.
This way.
So just taking that criticism and turning it into something positive. Okay, these people think I'm not doing this right, maybe I'm not, so let me make it better, and not being like, oh, these guys are saying this, so let me give up. So taking criticism positively is one of the
and especially if it's not coming from point of malice. Because you'll be criticized. It is life out here. You'll be criticized all year long, all day long, but again, it's how you take it and how you deal with it. I like that. Right, Anne, what are some of the lessons?
It might sound cliche, but hard work always pays off. You have to work hard for you to get the product that you desire. If you were to ask me 1 month or 2 months, even 3 months into rehearsals, whether we were actually going to put out a performance of what we were talking about, I would have said no, a very quick no. But then I learned that for us to even be able to do that, everybody has to put in their effort. And it starts with you. You know, you shouldn't expect others to put in hard work when you haven't. So, you know, you work hard and then look at whether or not others are doing their part well.
And mirroring what he said. You do your part, they do their part. Okay, all right.
And also being aware of your environment at all times. This helps even when you're in class, just knowing what's going on and being able to comprehend things very quickly and very easily. Thinking on your toes, you know, because there might be a change in mics. You're backstage, somebody forgot to return the mic that you're going to use, and you need to figure out which mic you're going to take. That's no time to start a tantrum asking, where are they? Where's my mic?
You
know, that's the time where you compose yourself and get whichever mic is available. You know, think on your toes, move always.
I mean, look at you guys. Hiya. Okay, all right. So let's talk about, first of all, the nominations, right? I mean, isn't that like the best? After the hard work and then you get this, that is just like amazing. But and of course I'd also want to know, so beyond this, beyond the play, you know, what else? I know for you this is what you want to do long term. Mike was like, yeah, you know what, I actually like it, so I might consider. You like aviation, right? But is this something that you'd also consider, you know?
I'm into arts. I'm into performing arts. I mostly joined the play because it was a musical. I like music a lot.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. So you could do both. I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah. How many hours do you have?
I have about almost 15, 20.
15, 20 hours. How is that like? I have so many questions. Okay, but let's just go to Louis first and then I'll come to you.
Right.
So 8 stages, right? You've done 8 stages for the play, right? Or there's more?
The awards.
No, the stages.
The stages
that you did for the play. Yes.
It was more actually. It was 12.
Ooh.
12.
Okay.
Yes.
Look at that.
And this is coincidence that we have 12 nominations at the Kenya Theatre
look
Awards.
At that.
Yeah.
12 stages, 12 nominations. Take us through that. Take us through the nominations and yeah.
Great. So Kenya Theatre Awards is committed to celebrating excellence in the performing arts industry, specifically theatre.
Okay.
And they normally do this on a year basis. This is going to be their second edition as they do this. And out of probably 100 theatre companies and over 500 shows, our show managed to clinch 12 nominations.
Congratulations.
And the 12 nominations, actually, we are the second highest nominated production.
Wow.
Right next after people who've been in the industry.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Stuart Nash and his team. So for us, coming from where we are coming from and just being new into the industry, this is quite, you know, the debut that
Is this like a first big play that you guys did?
This is the first play we've actually done with Metric School.
And you get 12 nominations?
12 nominations.
Look at that. Okay, so what are some of the categories that you've been nominated for?
We've been nominated for Best Production.
Whoop whoop, okay.
Best Children's Play. What other one?
Best Director, Mr. Lewis.
Oh, he's like, you say okay.
Our stage manager, Miss Mercy.
Yeah.
Best Lighting, best Costume Design, Best Set Design, Best Script. There's so many nominations. Oh, best
Nikita. I was waiting for you guys to say. If you forgot, I'll be
Nikita,
like, okay.
Best Breakthrough Actress.
Yes.
Nikita.
Yeah.
The star of the show.
Yes. How does that feel, Nikita? Is this like your first?
This was my first ever play. So it's a really big deal that I was nominated. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, all right. So, okay. Everything was, honestly, watching that, I would totally understand why you got all those nominations, because everything was just top notch. And I think it goes to what we were talking about, and that is investing, you know, into this. At the time, energy, getting the right people, getting the right, you know, actors you know, to deliver this and all those things. Congratulations. What is it that you want from Kenyans? I'm just going to ask. Micah, you tell us, from all this nomination, what is it that you expect from us?
From us. I feel like this should be like an eye-opener to what we can really do, because when you go out on the street, you don't see a lot of people participating in theatre events. They think it's just a pastime, a hobby people do to get through, because they have free time on their hands. I feel like we as a country should start taking this seriously, because this is a big deal. If you go to places like in the US, they have whole months dedicated to just one show. So I feel like this should be an eye-opener to what we can really do if we put in the time and effort, and as Mr. Lewis said, the investment.
Absolutely. All right, Mr. Lewis?
Oh, and Kenyans should not forget to vote for us. We'd be very glad if Kenyans, you know, rise up in huge numbers and vote for Mekatilili Wamenza. And it's actually a very simple process. Nikita, do you want to tell us what to do?
So you go to KenyaTheatreAwards.com and you go to, there's a place for written voting. So you click that and you make an account. After that, you just proceed in voting and select the people you want.
Okay, all right.
Mekatilili Wamenza. Everywhere you see that name, just vote. Yes.
Okay.
It will mean a lot to us.
I mean, listen, it's a really good thing, first of all, to see you guys and to have you guys here, you know, this morning, help us really understand what it took to have that, you know, and even what this meant to you guys in terms of the lessons that you've learned and all those things. Okay, so then for the parents, let's talk to the parents, you know, who are watching us this morning and thinking, because was it Micah you who said, listen, you know, there's some people who don't take this seriously. They just think, ni mchezo tu, you know, mnenda kufanya uko, utachoka tu, uta outgrow. And then you will focus on that thing that you really wanted to, or the career that they want you to focus on. What is it that, and learning from this and taking part and experiencing this, what will be your message to, one, you know, other students who are watching us this morning? I mean, they're in school, but yeah, maybe they're watching. But also for the parents, what would you guys say as far as performing arts is concerned?
To the parents, first of all, to the parents, I would say that you need to give it a chance. Don't shut it down before it actually starts. Because with awards like Nikita got, you could take this it could make a big deal out of it, go to places like the US, because this is an international festival. It's not just Kenya only. So this will get international recognition, and I don't think the parents really comprehend the full scope of theatre in the world, the part it plays in the grand scheme of things. So realizing the opportunities that could come through theatre, and also understanding that theatre is not just a pastime, because theatre is actually a learning experience, because people look at theatre and they think it's just a small thing to do, but you actually learn from it like you would learn from a classroom. Things you wouldn't really get from listening to a teacher, you'd get from theatre. Things like thinking on your feet, improvising if necessary, working with people. These are all lessons you will learn from theatre that you might not necessarily get until it might be too late. So I think really the essence is to just give it a chance before you shoot it down.
Okay.
And then to students, to students, I would ask them to participate, because you don't know your talents until you've actually tried.
Right. Yeah.
All the shots you miss are the ones you don't take. Yeah. So you might, because I didn't know I could act. I thought I would just get a background role. I didn't know I could act, and then now Miss Elias comes telling me you can actually do something if you try putting the work for it, and it really surprised me and woke me up to the things I feel like I can do now. Like I feel more empowered by it. So I think everyone in general should give theatre a try.
Yeah. Could you repeat what you said? That the chances that you'd lose are the ones you didn't take?
Yeah, all the shots you miss are the shots you don't take.
Okay, dropping wisdom this morning. Nikita, what would you say?
So, in my previous school, just before we did, a few years back, before we did our KCPE, we were in class because I was a boarder during the evening preps, and we were talking about what we want to do with our lives after KCPE. Okay. So my friends and I were talking, and I was really telling them about going to an international school and pursuing my dreams, and they were like, what if? And I was like, guys, just fight for your dreams. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't, because it's all up here. It's up to you to make your dreams and your passions come true. And if you don't want to be in your 30s, in your 40s, being like, what if I actually fought for this? Where would I be right now? So for other students, for other children out there, just fight for what you want. I know maybe it might not seem realistic, but anything is possible. If you don't believe in yourself, who else will? Right. And for the parents, support your children. It really does go a long way. That's true. Encourage them. Don't crush their dreams. And just be there for them.
Yeah, I like that. Support. All right, and fight for your dreams. I like that. All right, and very quickly.
If my mom or dad ever told me not to do something, then I probably wouldn't be sitting here speaking to you right now. It's opportunity. When it comes, go for it. Don't overthink it. The worst that can happen is you tried but it didn't work out, or you didn't like it. That's literally the worst that could happen. The best is that somebody would actually find what they want to do with their life. With all of these things that we're exposed to now in Wood Creek School, which we're so grateful for, is all of these different activities that we can participate in, all of these opportunities to do so many different things. So my dad always says, opportunity. Chase it, take it. Don't overthink it.
Absolutely.
And for the students, when you're given that opportunity, don't think twice. Right? Just take it.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. How old are you guys again? Because the wisdom. Okay. And Louis, as we bring this to a close, what next? And I know, to the parents maybe who are watching us, of course, just a thing or two, to the parents and to the students themselves. But beyond that, beyond this play, maybe I'm just going to give you pressure, like, hey, when are we getting the next play? And all those things. But beyond this, what next for you guys? Very quickly.
Well, we've started. The only way to go is forward. I mean, all the way up. There's no time for us thinking on
nominated.
We can now chill and no, it's all the way up. it's actually a work in progress. We are on to our next. And we are hoping that it's going to probably be bigger and better. And so what we would tell Kenyans is watch Wood Creek School and watch this space.
I like that.
Because it's an institution that is there to appreciate the performing arts and all other faculties that play into performing arts. Because without performing arts, then you don't have math. Because you need that creative mind to innovate.
That's true.
You don't have science because at the end of the day, you need people who can think on their feet and solve problems. So performing arts supports every single faculty or facet of education. So adopting it as a curriculum, that would be a really good plus.
That. And of course,
so that is what Wood Creek School offers. We offer a curriculum that is so enriched in the performing arts. To the parents, I think I don't want to repeat what my amazing people here have said. Support. Because performing arts are not really appreciated a lot. And if parents could actually see beyond, you know, just someone being on stage and look at the growth that comes with it, then I think at that particular point, someone would actually attest to it that it's life transforming.
Absolutely.
So if parents could support, and by supporting them, they're supporting us, the creators.
I mean, at the end of the day, right?
Yes, because
everybody
we
wins.
have a rich
Everybody
pool
wins.
of talent out there. So support.
I like that. Support, support, support. Very important. So good job to you guys. First of all, congratulations on the nominations. Good job.
Thank you.
You know, for what you do and teaching, you know, this amazing students over here today. So we wish you all the very best. We want to, I mean, all of you, right? We want to see you on bigger stages, making us proud, you know, even beyond school. But for now, asanteni sana for coming, Mr. Louis Kavoy Zerbia, who is a drama teacher at Wood Creek School, as well as the production director, that is for Mekatilili. And of course, we also had Nikita Wakonye, who's an actor, and Nyandia, an actor, as well as Micah Kaboy. Asanteni sana, all the very best in school, Msome tafadhali, but also all these other areas. And yeah, thank you for making our morning, you know, today. And of course, thank you as well for watching until the end of the conversation. It's been amazing, and I hope that you've learned a lot and got a lot of wisdom from today's conversation as far as performing arts is concerned. So let's go out there, let's support them as well. So my name is Winnie Lubembe. Have yourselves a lovely one ahead. And of course, a big thank you to a very big team behind us who put together and made sure that the show is a success. So enjoy your day and see you tomorrow. Goodbye for now.
Presenting the new Harpic Bathroom Cleaner. Compared to ordinary detergents, its thick formulation gives you superior cleaning and kills 99.9% of germs and viruses all around the bathroom. Blue
for the toilet
and red
for the bathroom.
What room has no doors or windows?
I think it's a staff room because it has more things occupied.
I think it's an egg because it doesn't have any openings.
And you're beautiful just the way you are.
So this is the sushi chef. So this is the sushi chef.
So this is the sushi chef. So this is the sushi chef.
So this is the sushi chef. So this is the sushi chef.
He's action-packed and sister challenge. Doggy dog for living hard. Triple cloning. T-Rexing. Royal throning. Johnny Xing. You never know what's coming next. 'Cause it's Johnny.
grow your biashara by accessing loans, investment options, convenient banking, network opportunities, and so much more. Njoo tukujenge. Visit any one of our 93 branches countrywide. Family Bank is regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Who am I? Why am I here? What will I be remembered for?
These questions come to a man at different stages of his life.
Early for some, late for others. Yet some men go through life groping for answers.
But fortunately for you, this doesn't have to be the case.
The second edition of Man Cave is an event
where you'll get to spend time with different men. Learn from those who've gone ahead of you
on the journey that is a man's life. Take a trip to the serene lake house, Tigoni, and experience the perfect boys getaway. Full of fun-filled games, cars, food, nyama choma, drinks, networking opportunities. 25th of February. Grab your tickets by going to www.kenyabars.com today. The Man Cave. It's a man's affair.
I'm in Kenya's North Rift region of Uasin Gishu County, which is regarded as Kenya's food basket. Many farmers here know little about science cited as genetically modified organism, but are concerned about what impact rolling out the science could have on food production.
In just about 2 years' time, the city of Dodoma has changed from being just a small town in the middle of nowhere to becoming Tanzania's capital. But how has this change affected the value and demand for land and housing?
This used to be unusable swampland, but this women have turned all that around. They converted 25 acres of inland valley swamp to thriving farmland. They primarily grow rice